This is Sales Management Mastery, Episode 15.
Welcome to Sales Management Mastery, where you get an insider's look on how to build, motivate, coach, and lead a high-performance, low-maintenance sales team. Here's your host, Ralph Burns.
Hello and welcome to Sales Management Mastery Online at salesmanagementmastery.com. And we're here to help you and your sales managers build a team of highly motivated, elite salespeople using easy-to-use, real-world sales management techniques and tactics that'll unleash a flood of new sales for your sales organization. On this episode of Sales Management Mastery, we discuss the real secret sauce for success in sales management. I'd also like to remind you that if you'd like to get a jump start on creating your own team of supercharged salespeople using our proven system, you can claim your free training course of your choice, including our most popular training of all time, How to Motivate Your Sales Team to Peak Performance, at the Sales Management Mastery Academy by going to salestraininggift.com. Now, in today's show, we are going to teach you the secret sauce to sales management success. And probably as you're listening to this or as you saw this in iTunes, you probably said, what the heck is he talking about on this one? Well, it's not a secret, but goal setting, and goal setting specifically used in the right way as a sales manager, is the absolute secret sauce to you getting the best from your salespeople to achieve ultimate sales management success and top sales performance for your company. So what we're really talking about here today is goal setting. And goal setting specifically not for you as a sales manager, as a VP of sales, or as a sales trainer, but for your salespeople. And I think we all probably know how important goals are. A lot of us have been to goal setting workshops. We realize that setting goals is an important part of success. But the crazy thing is, and the sad thing is that not a lot of us actually do it. A lot of us really do want certain things in our lives, career success, personal happiness, those sorts of things. But do we actually put pen to paper and write out goals specific to those ends that we want to achieve? And most of us don't. There's been hundreds of studies on the importance of goal setting, but probably one of the most critical ones, one that's quoted more often than any other goal-setting study, was the one that was done in 1979 at the Harvard University Business School. And interviewers asked new graduates from Harvard's MBA program questions about whether or not they had goals as they had graduated in the class of 1979. And they found out that 84% of the graduating class had no specific goals at all. 13% had goals, but they weren't committed to paper. And 3% had clear written goals and plans to actually accomplish them. So 3% had written goals, 13% had goals but hadn't written them down, 84% had no specific goals at all. So 10 years later, at the 10-year reunion, the interviewers again interviewed the graduates of that class at their 10-year reunion. And you can probably guess what the results are, seeing how this is a show on goal setting. But the 13% of the class who had goals were earning, on average, twice as much as the 84% who had no goals at all. So that's obviously a marked improvement. But even more staggering was the 3% who had clear written goals. They were earning, on average, 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. So a staggering quantity of material wealth that had been accumulated by that 3% just by obviously applying the plan that they had put together and also setting specific goals, a lot of those surrounding around personal success and personal wealth. So there's no doubt about it that goal setting is an extremely important activity. But the question is, as a sales manager, as a sales vice president, or a sales trainer, do you advocate for your salespeople for them to set goals? And chances are you probably don't. If any of the percentages are right here, I would imagine that probably about 3% or maybe 5% of those of you who are listening to this show probably have done this sort of exercise. So if you have, kudos to you. But if you haven't, this is going to be a great show for you. So why are goals so important, and how do we tie it back to all the things that we had talked about in previous shows? Well, in some previous shows, we had actually talked about one of the important parts to being a top sales manager is having what we call the perfection mindset. The perfection mindset is all about shooting for goals that are higher than what the company expects of you, meaning that at 100% of quota, and quota is the great measuring stick as a salesperson and as a sales manager, and maybe 100% of plan, but whatever it is that you call it at your particular company, it's 100% of goal, 100% of plan, 100% of quota. Whatever that goal is, the perfection mindset is about setting a goal for your personal team that is higher than achieving 100% of quota. In that way, in our previous show, we had talked about this, and this is called the perfection mindset. So that chances are, if you set your goal just slightly higher than you think that you're probably capable of achieving, because of the forces of gravity, they may push them down a bit, and you end up having a sales team that's typically around the 100% mark. And if you've got half of your team above quota and half of your team right around quota, chances are you're probably the top sales manager, or your company has achieved the goals that they want for that particular sales year. So goal setting is an absolutely essential and integral part of this perfection mindset. And we've talked before about some sports figures who set this kind of perfection mindset to aim for perfection and to shoot for perfection rather, but achieve excellence is the best way in which to set the tone for your sales team. And goal setting falls right in line with that particular philosophy. Now, the key is with this is that it's up to your salespeople to give you the steps needed in order to ensure the successful completion of those goals. And the part of this that's very important is that they have to set their own personal goals with you as the guiding hand throughout the entire process. And in the Sales Management Mastery Academy, we teach you all about goal setting and all about the art of putting this all on paper and making it in a written contract between you and your salesperson. And we will get into that in future shows on goal setting specifically and the secret sauce of sales management success. But for our purposes here, we just want to get you into the mindset of understanding exactly how important goals are and how you can integrate it into your overall philosophy in the overall direction of your sales team. So why is it that goals work? Everyone knows that goals do work, but why is it that they actually do work? And this is something that I think when you're preparing yourself to lay out this agenda, this goal setting agenda, which we'll get into